In today's class, we reviewed percent, which is going to help us with our last topic in our current algebra unit. So this video, I'm going to take you through the makeup work assignment that was posted in today's folder, and then when you're finished, I'll tell you where to go for independent practice. So our first question says, Jada had a new puppy that weighs 9 pounds. The vet says that the puppy is now at about 20% of its adult weight. What will be the adult weight of the puppy? So go ahead and pause this video and give question 1 a try so you can think about what it's asking before I explain. So the best way to start thinking about this, for me at least, is to draw it out. I know that this puppy currently weighs 9 pounds, and those 9 pounds are 20% of what it will weigh. So I can think of it as 5 groups. If this entire bar represents 100%, I know that if I split it up into 5 equal-sized pieces, each of these smaller pieces represents 20%. I know that one group of 20%, or just 20% of its adult weight, is equal to 9. So 20% of its weight is always going to be 9. That means that in total, the adult weight of the puppy is 5 groups of 9, or 5 times 9, which is 45 pounds. Now, in 2, we see that Andre also has a puppy that weighs 9 pounds. But this puppy is at about 30% of its adult weight. What will be the adult weight of Andre's puppy? Now, this is a little bit tricky because 30% doesn't cleanly add up to 100 the same way that we saw in the last problem. They already set up a double number line for us, which can be helpful. We know that if 30% is 9, 60% is 18, and 90% is 27. But again, we're not cleanly getting to 100%. So what we talked about in class is splitting up our number line a little bit more so that we're counting by 10% instead of by 30%. Check this out. I added the percents for you, and you can do this in your double number line as well. Please pause this video and try to fill in the upper number line. So you might have noticed that we need to split each of these segments, 0 to 9, 9 to 18, and 18 to 27, into 3 equal groups. And if I split those segments of 9 into 3 equal groups, I'm now counting by 3s. And then I can easily count once more to see that 100% is 30. And the adult weight of Andre's puppy will be 30 pounds. Now another way to think of this is simply that if 30% equals 9, we know that 10% equals 3. Because we were dividing 30 divided by 3 to get to 10%, so we also need to split up 9 into 3 equal groups. A lot of times it's easier to answer these sorts of questions if you know a clean percentage, like 10%, because you can easily scale that up to 100. Go ahead and pause this video, answer question 3, and when you're finished, hit play, and we'll move on to the next activity. This is helpful practice, but we're not going to cover it in this video here. Feel free to take a look, and I can give you some feedback. Our next activity is 3.2, liters, meters, and hours. Question A says, how much is 50% of 10 liters of milk? There's a lot of different ways to think about this, but it might be intuitive to you that 50% of 10 is just 5 liters. And the reason, of course, is because 50% is the same thing as half. We could illustrate this in a double number line just by showing that if we were to split 10 liters into two groups, 50% or in half, 50% would be the same thing as 5 liters. Go ahead and fill in each of these questions, answering 50%, 10%. Pay close attention to how can you find 50% of every number and how can you find 10% of every number. So again, pause this video, answer these questions, and come back. So I want to focus on D and H. How can you find 50% of every number and how can you find 10% of every number? We can see here on this double number line that to find 50% of any number, all we need to do is split the number into two equal groups, or divide by 2. If you think back to what we did in the first activity, when we needed to split a number into 10%, all we needed to do was take the whole, which is 30, and divide by 10. And I guess I should be more specific when I say divide by 2, because really what we're doing is we're dividing the whole by 2, or dividing the whole by 10. So in 13.3, how can you calculate each value mentally? We talked about 9 is 50% of what number? Again, imagining a double number line is a great way to approach these problems. Because if I know that 9 is the same thing as 50%, I can simply think about doubling 9. Because I double 50% to get to 100%, so I double 9 to see that 50% of 9 is 18. The same thing goes for questions like 25% and 10%. Because if you think about a double number line and you imagine 9 as 25%, you know that to get from 25% to 100%, or to think about what is the whole, you need to scale up 9 4 times. So in other words, there are 4 groups of 25% in 100%, so there are 4 groups of 9 in the whole. Go ahead and give questions 3, 4, 5, and 6 a try, and I will go back to your document and add some comments. The last thing you need to take care of is today's lunch exit slip. The way we did class today is everything we just talked about we went over before lunch, and after lunch we did independent practice. So your directions are to take care of the lunch exit slip, and when you're finished, go in today's Schoology folder and do assignment 1. I want you to focus on assignment 1. Once you've finished this document and you've finished assignment 1 posted in today's Schoology folder, you're good to go. Remember that if you have any questions, you can always send Ms. Knez an email.